My name is Tony Newmeyer, and I'm the author of the book, The 7-Minute Millionaire, How to Think Yourself Rich, and founder of Wealth Mechanics International and the Millionaire Academy. I'm going to do something very different. I'm going to take you on a ride in my new Lamborghini Huracan via a video I just made. It's an amazing piece of machinery and art. However, before I do that, I want to talk with you about envisioning and how I actually created this car in my life. You may have heard the saying, "Ask and you shall receive." It's a quote from the Bible, Matthew 7:7. The actual quote is quite a bit longer than that, but for right now, and for what I'm going to talk about, that's all we need. But I'm going to get back to that in just a minute. There are many different roads that have led to the world's great discoveries and creations, but most of them began in one place, the mind. Creation first begins with a spark of inspiration forming in our imagination. When we have a thought and then we have a vision, this thought is the first step to creation. Science fiction has been the forebearer and inspiration of great ideas for the scientific community to study and create for more than a century. There are many examples of this. How about the watch-phone combination? It's currently a reality and a big trend with the recent release of the Apple Watch and others. We first saw it in several detective comic books and movies years ago. Do you remember Dick Tracy solving crime in his yellow hat and trench coat, closing in on criminals as he spoke in his two-way wrist radio? And how about Jules Verne? He first conceptualized the submarine in 1870 in his famous novel 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. A few years later, Simon Lake was credited with building one of the first actual submarines named the Argonaut, which was built by the Columbia Iron Works and Dry Dock Company and tested successfully in 1889. In 1942, sci-fi author Robert Heinlein published a short story, Waldo, about an inventor who was physically handicapped and created a remotely operated mechanical hand. Now, shortly after that, in the mid-40s, the nuclear industry built mechanical arms for handling radioactive material that were named Waldos, after the character Waldo Jones, which Heinlein had created in his story. The name was given for the recognition of his work. Now, what about the cell phone? It was first conceptualized in science fiction as well. The Star Trek communicator was the inspiration Martin Cooper of Motorola needed for the first design in the mid-1970s. Cooper is quoted as saying, "This was not a fantasy to us, it was our objective." You have also likely heard recently about potential applications of 3D printers, which likewise harken back to Star Trek's replicator technology. The Apple software QuickTime was another Star Trek-inspired creation, this time from the Next Generation series. Steve Perlman says he got the idea for the program when he saw the characters of the show listening to multiple music tracks on a single computer. Everything that is created in this world by humans most often takes shape from the form of some thought prior to its manifestation in reality. Now, there are some exceptions, such as when inventions are accidentally happened upon or are the unexpected side benefits of research. Post-it notes are a good example of this. Dr. Spencer Silver, a 3M researcher, discovered this multi-billion-dollar product when he was attempting to develop a super strong adhesive in 1968. Another multi-billion-dollar product, which was an accidental discovery, was the erectile dysfunction drug Viagra. It was originally developed for the treatment of angina, but researchers found that it had a more effective and more profitable use. And as they say, the rest is history. It all begins with the spark of our imagination, from the smallest sketch on a canvas to the tallest skyscraper ever created. It's true that most inventions were just thoughts. After they became thoughts, they were likely also visioned in the creator's mind prior to them ever putting pen to paper. The pictures of the end result were actually formed in the person's mind before beginning the process of drawing them out in the form of an architectural plan, or prototype, or schematic. So why is this important to you and to me? Well, another truth is that what you can envision most often in your life, you can most likely create. Given that the Bible is constantly being interpreted, I'm going to make my own interpretation. Even though I don't make a habit of quoting the Bible, it seems fitting here. So my interpretation is, instead of using the word ask, I say envision and you will receive. There may be a few exceptions due to some limiting factors of science and current technology, but just think about some of those inventions I just mentioned. At one time, they may not have seemed possible at all. However, shortly after they were thought of, they did in fact become reality. I can tell you with certainty that I have created my success in life by first deciding or thinking about what it is that I want in life. I first read about this idea in Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, where he said, what you think about most often, you will become. For you to do this, you must first decide what it is that you're going to accomplish. In other words, you set a goal. Then you go about figuring out how to accomplish it. You do this by reverse engineering the end result to figure out what steps are needed to get there. You work on making each step as small and concise as possible. The more manageable, the better, as long as there's some challenge to it, and it's moving you as quickly as possible towards your goal. Now this can be a little tricky for some people to figure out initially, but once you understand the process, you can apply it in all areas of your life. It really is a fantastic way to go about achieving your goals. One of the things I do with people such as yourself is help you determine what is important to you, and so that I can help you accomplish it through the methods that are specific to your needs. This includes everything that you want to accomplish in your life, in all areas of your life, that we can define and break down into the necessary steps to achieve them. I also help you stay completely focused on accomplishing your goals. I've helped people reach heights they never thought possible, earning millions of dollars and becoming totally financially free. Personally, I like nice cars. Well, performance cars actually. I've had some nice cars throughout the years, a Mercedes SL 500, a Porsche 911 Turbo, just to name a couple. A while ago, I decided that I wanted a new car, and something a little more exotic this time. The search was on. It came down to deciding between a Ferrari and a Lamborghini. Now I chose the Lambo. So a year ago, I ordered this crazy but beautiful machine. I want to show it to you because I want you to know what you can create when you focus on something and create that vision in your mind. However, you can't just picture your goal once and be done with it. It needs to become one of the foremost thoughts you have, something you think about often, and just as importantly, have put the steps in place to achieve it. You should set a time each day, actually twice a day, to reflect on your goals and envision everything you want to accomplish in your life. This is where I have people create PPMs, or personal programming messages I call them, to help you with the process. In fact, this process helps people create and sustain power habits of success that help manifest the future that you choose. When it was time to decide what I wanted, I went to the dealership, sat in different cars. I got the specs I needed, experienced that new car smell, and started to really think about the color I wanted the car to be and the type of interior it was going to have. I even decided on the red stitching in the dashboard and the color of the brake calipers. The most important thing that I want you to take away from this message is that you can accomplish anything you set your mind to. It really doesn't matter where you are in life today. I'm telling you this based on my own experience, having come from a devastating bankruptcy and being $1.5 million in debt to where I am today. Your decisions and the actions you take today can change your future forever. Decide on what it is you want to achieve, where you want to be in life, and what you want your life to be like. Create pictures of what that means to you. These can be physical pictures that you look at from the internet or in magazines. They should also be pictures in your mind. As I said, ones that you review regularly. One important thing to note is that the clearer your pictures are in your mind, the more power they have to move you toward your goals. This is why it's critical that you practice creating those pictures in your mind every day. In my course, Retire Rich, I go into very specific methodology of how to create these pictures in your mind and also give you some simple exercises to allow you to build your envisioning powers. I know you can achieve the heights of success you're after because if I can do it, so can you. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and please leave your comments. Visit my website, TonyNewmeyer.com, to access other free trainings and articles. When you're ready, I'm here to help you and want to help you achieve the life and everything in your life that you are after. I wish you all of the success and joy that life can bring, and hope that you will always remember to live rich. Now let's go take a look at my new car.